Guidelines this week on sugar for children under the age of 2, giving another excuse for parents to say no to candy. 25 News reporter Abby Loring tells us what local healthcare providers and moms are doing to raise healthy kiddos.
Many adults will be limiting their sugar intake due to New Year's resolutions, and now so will children under the age of 2. The U.S. released its first dietary guidelines for infants and toddlers in order to make sure that children get those vital nutrients in those important years of growth. Dietary guidelines are released every 5 years by the U.S. Department of Agriculture and the Department of Health and Human Services in an effort to set standards for school lunches and food distribution programs. This year, the USDA released guidelines for infants under the age of 2.
Well, the breastfeeding recommendations have been there for a while, but they've gone further than the breastfeeding.
Babies and toddlers, they're going to eat what types of foods are available to them, like what their parents or caregivers have access to. So I think the recommendations come from a good place, but there are some considerations to be made in how most people can benefit from those recommendations.
The guidelines recommend feeding only breast milk for at least 6 months and no added sugar for children under age 2.
You have to look at nutrition as a whole instead of just focusing on one small aspect like sugar.
Carly is a writer for Waco Moms and is also about to have her 3rd child. She knows the challenges of trying to find nutritious meals for picky eaters and says moderation is best.
Right now, they're saying that 1 in 13 kids have an allergy, a food allergy now. That's crazy. We didn't see that growing up. We didn't have kids that couldn't have peanut butter even close to them. And I think that a lot of it has to do that we do stress out so much and emphasize so much on what our kids are not allowed to eat. I think that if we just take a step back and just do things in moderation.
The guidelines also say that parents should introduce potential allergenic foods and regular foods after 6 months, which can help prevent the development of food allergies.
Well, the earlier you introduce those, the better. So if you start out feeding your child those healthier vegetables and fruits, then they're going to be more likely to eat them.
Like today, we did cabbage for the new year. Both my boys were like, I don't want to eat this. And I said, you have to have 1 bite. Took a bite, didn't like it. Fine. That's a 1 bite rule.
While a lot of young kids tend to be picky eaters, Carly has found ways to sneak in some healthy alternatives while having a tasty meal. You can find a link to some of those meals on our website. Reporting in Waco, I'm Abby Loring, 25 News.